सब्सक्राइब कीजिए अलीम अकेडमी होम ट्यूशन सर्विसेज को और बेल आइकन को प्रेस करके ऑल के बटन को प्रेस कीजिए ताकि आने वाली तमाम वीडियोस की नोटिफिकेशंस आपको मिल सके। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वेलकम टू अलीम अकेडमी। Today we are going to do Mathematics D1 7th edition Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is Approximation and Estimation, and in this Chapter 3 we will do Review Exercise 3 today. Before this we have solved Exercise 3A, 3B and 3C. Those exercises were also about rounding off and significant figures, and this exercise is also about rounding off significant figures and their applications and questions from the everyday life. Okay, the first question is round off this number to the nearest 100, 1000 and 10th. We have to round off the number 6479.952 to the nearest 100, 1000 and 10th. So let's do it. Let's write the number here: 6479.952. Remember that this part, the first part, is basically the whole number, and the next part is basically a decimal number, and this number as a whole is called a decimal number. Okay, now see what you have to do in the first part. In the first part you have to round off this number to the nearest 100. What is 100? 100 is a whole number or 100 is a decimal number? 100 is a whole number, so we will take only the whole part. Whole number part is only this part. Okay, so we will only consider 6479. Alright, and over here in this number, this is units, this is tens, this is hundreds, and this number is thousands. Okay, so we have to round off this number to the nearest 100. What is 100? 974. These numbers are coming in 100. Okay, and what number is exactly on the place of 100? That is 4. So we have to round off only this number. We have to round off the number 4 that is on the place of 100. Okay, so when we have to round off the number 4, then see what is the number after 4. If the next number after 4 is 5 or greater than 5, then we add plus 1 in 4. And if the next number after 4 will be less than 5, then 4 will come as it is. As you can see here, the next number after 4 is 7. So we will add 1 in 4 and 4 will become 5. 6 will come as it is, this 4 will become 5, and all the next numbers after 4, those will become 0, 0. So 0, 0. The answer will be 6500 or 6500. Let's write down the answer for the first part. Okay, now let's do the second part. The second part is 1000. Thousands mean we again have to consider the number that is a whole number. I mean the whole part of the above number. So that is 6479. This is units, this is tens, this is 100, and this number is in the place of thousands. So we have to round off this number to the nearest 1000. 1000 mean that we have to round off the particular number 6. Okay, so see what is the number after 6. The number after 6 is basically 4. Alright, so we have to plus 1 in the number 4. Why? Because we will not plus 1 in 6. Why? Because the next number is 4 and 4 is less than 5. Okay, so 6 will come as it is. Okay, and all the next numbers will become 0. Okay, so you got it. Why we are not adding 1? Because the next number after 6 is less than 5. So 6 will come as it is, and the next numbers will be written as 0, 0, 0, and the answer will be 6000. Let's write down the answer for the B part. Now let's do C part. C part is basically 10th. C part is a little technical part. You have to understand what is 10th mean. 9, 5 and 2. Remember one thing, this is 10th. This is not tens. Okay, understand this thing, 10th. 10th means that the first number right after the decimal. Okay, so this number is basically 10th. Alright, so we have to round off this number 9. So to round off the number 9, it means that we will see what is the next number. The next number after 9 is 5. So if the next number after 9 is 5 or greater than 5, then we have to add 1 in 9. Adding 1 in 9 will become 10. 10 means these two numbers change. They will become 100. It means that these three numbers will change. And this will become 79 will become 80. And this will become 0. So the answer will be 6479.0. Alright, let's write down the answer for the third part. 6480.0. Okay, that will be 6480.0 because this number is 9, so this will change all the previous numbers. 79 will move to the next number, that is 80. So answer will be 6480.0. Okay, let's move to question 2. Question 2 is that express this number 4.793 and 39.51 correct to two significant figures. We have to express these two numbers correct to two significant figures. Okay, we first do this part, the first part. The first number is 4.793. Okay, and we have to express this till the two significant figures, means that we have to write down the answer in the two significant figures. Whenever we are talking about significant figures, then we have to count the numbers from the right side, from the left side, because mathematics starts from the left side. And when we are talking about the rounding of the numbers, then we have to start the numbers from the right side. So first number is this, second number is this. We have to express the two significant figures. Okay, so this second number will be rounded off, this 7. So see what is coming after 7. After 7 we have 9, and 9 is greater than 5, so we will add 1 in 7, and this will become 4.8. Alright, let's write down the answer. The answer for the A part is 4.8. And let's do the second part also from A part. The second number, we can write a comma here. Okay, the next number is basically 39.51. So we have to express this to the two significant figures, means that the first number and the second number. Alright, so this is 39. See what is the number after 9. We have to round off this, the second number, 9. So what is after 9? That is 5. So 9 will be moved to the next number, and next number after 9 means that these two numbers will be changed. 39 will become 40. So the next number we are writing here, that will be 40. Okay, now let's do the second part. Second part is use your answer in the part 1 to estimate 4.79 divided by 39.5. So what we have to do, actually we have to do 4.793 divided by 39.5. 9.51. So see the estimated answers. The upper part, the numerator, will be converted into 4.8 and the denominator can be written as 40. Okay, so now we have to simplify these numbers, and we are talking about estimation, means that we have to do this calculation. Most of the times we have to do this calculation mentally. So if you cancel decimal from here, you will obviously multiply with 10 on the other side. So this number will become 48 and we can write 0 here. Okay, now 48 over 400. So you can cancel them on 400 and then 4 ones are 4 twos are. Alright, so now 12, this is basically 12 over 100. 12 over 100, and 12 over 100 can be directly converted into decimal. Why? I mean how? 0 goes with 2, this 0 goes with 1, and in place of 1 we can write here decimal. So this will be 0.12 will be the final answer. Okay, you got my point. 0.12 will be final answer, and we have just estimated it. We have done all this working mentally. All right, so let's just write down the final answer, and you must know that how we got the final answer. So see our calculation again and again until you understand how we got the answer 0.12. Okay, we just what we did, we just estimated these numbers. We used the values from the part 1, 4.8 over 40, and we removed the decimal. And you must know what happens when we remove a decimal in the numerator. So when we remove a decimal in the numerator, we multiply the number 10, 100 or 1000. It depends on the number. Like this is 4.8, there is one number after decimal, so we will multiply with 10 on the other side. Okay, so that will be 48 over 40, and then we divide it and we got 0.1. Very easy part, very easy. Let's move to the next question, number 3. Question 3 is a real application of the significant figures. The mass of a chocolate truffle is 0.025 kilogram. Alright, correct to 2 significant figures. This mass is given to you. Correct to 2 significant figures. Okay, remember that this is already correct to 2 significant figures. What is the smallest possible value? What is the smallest possible mass of the chocolate truffle? Possible mass or possible value of the chocolate truffle. So let me explain you how to do this. Let's say we have 0.025. Okay, so what happens actually, like this number is rounded off to the 2 significant figures, mean that this is the first significant figure and this is the second significant figure. It means that after rounding off a number we are getting 5. So rounding off means that when we round off, then we add 1 in a number, or we write the number as it is. Okay, so this number is rounded off. That it means that we have added 1 in this, or may not be we not have added 1 in this. There may be the number 1 after that, but we have to write the smallest possible answer. So what can be the smallest possible answer? Like let's suppose we have 0.02, and in place of 5 can we write 1, 2, 3 or 4? What number can we write? If we write 1, then the answer will be 2 here. If we write 2, then the answer will be 3 here in place of 5. If we write 3, then the answer should be 4 here, and if we write 4, then the answer should be 5 here. Okay, so we can write 4 here. Alright, because the answer should be 5, and that will come 5 only in the case when this number should be 4. Okay, because when we add 1 in 4, that will become 5. Okay, now what can be the next number after 4? The next number after 4 can be 1, 2, 3, 4. Can these numbers? No, never. Why not? Because if there will be 1, then we cannot round off 4. If there will be 2, we cannot round off 4. If there will be 3, then we cannot round off 4. If there will be 4, we cannot round off the number 4. Only we can round off this number 4 if there will be 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. Okay, so we have to write the smallest possible mass. Smallest possible mass means that we have to write down the smallest possible number, and the smallest possible number can be here only 5. Okay, so now if you round off this number to the two significant figures and you round off this number and this number, then see what happens. This is 5, so this 5 will disappear and this 4 will become 5, and the answer will be 0.025 as we have written here. I hope you got the story. The actual story is this, that this number is rounded off and we have to find out the number that from which number this is rounded off to this answer, and that number should be the smallest. Alright, we write down the answer, that is 0.0245. And also we have to write down the unit. The unit is kilogram. So that is the answer for the question 3. Question number 4 is this. A toy costs, let me make it a little small so that you can see it clearly. You can see the solution also. A toy costs this 35,000 Indonesian rupiah. The conversion rate is 1000 rupiah is equal to 0.145598 S dollars. Without using a calculator, estimate the price of the toy in S dollars. A very interesting question. First of all, we have to write what is the conversion rate that is given to us. That is 1000 Indonesian rupee is equal to 0.145598 S dollars. Okay, now see what we have to find. We have to find, without using a calculator, estimate the price of the toy in S dollars. So the thing that you have to find in the answer, like you have to calculate what is the price in S dollars, that should be on the right side. Okay, so this is already on the right side, you can see S dollars. Then the question becomes a little easy for you. Okay, now what we do with this is 1000 Rp is equal to this, we make it 1 Rp. What happens? We will divide both sides with 1000. So this can be written as 1 Rp is equal to this number over 1000. (0.145598) over 1000. Okay, and next what will happen, that we have to find a toy cost 35,000 Indonesian rupiah. 35,000 this, so we have to estimate the price of the toy. So this is 1 rupiah. So what we have to find? We have to find the value of 35,000 Indonesian rupiah. So multiply with 35,000 on both sides. So this will become 35,000, and over this side this number will be multiplied by 35,000. Alright. Okay, now we do not have to use calculator and we have to estimate our answer. So what we will do, see, this 1000 cannot be rounded off. If we cannot estimate 1000, and we also cannot 35,000. We can also not estimate, like we cannot make them further short. Okay, they are already simplified. We can only simplify this number 0.145598, and we have to round off till that place where we can easily solve this question. If you write 0.1, if you multiply the number with 0.1, you will not get exact answer. Exact answer means that will not be a valuable answer, that will not be a suitable answer. Okay, so there should be minimum 2 numbers. Like we can round off this 4. See, the number after 4 is 5, so this 4 will be converted to the next number, and that is 5. So this will be estimated as 0.15. Alright, so now what you can do, just multiply this 35,000 with this numerator. Okay, and what happens when you remove the decimal? See, if when you remove the decimal of 0.15, this will become 15, and you will multiply with 100 on the other side, because there are 2 numbers after decimal, they are 1 and 5. So you will multiply with the 2 zeros on the other side, like this is happening in numerator, so you will multiply in the denominator. Okay, now what to do? You can do cancellation here. So how can they be cancelled with each other? See, this 1000 will be cancelled with this 1000. Okay, and then the remainings are 35 and 15. So multiply 35 with 15. What you will get? 5 5s are 25, 5 and 2, and 5 3s are 15, and 2 17. So 5 1s are 5, and then 3 1s are 3. Okay, so 5 7 and 5 12 2 1 and 3 1 4 and 1 5. You are getting 525. Okay, so this will be 525, and in the denominator you will have 100, and you can directly convert these numbers into decimal. This 0 goes with this 0 goes with 2, and in place of 1 we can write here decimal 5.25. Let's do it. So after cancellation, what you will get? You will get here 100, and you will get here 525, and then you can directly write down the answer, that will be 5.25. Alright, you got it. How easy question is this? And we have got this answer as 5.25 $. Next is question number 5. Let's make it a little small for you. Okay, question number 5 says that the masses of 1 packet of sugar, 1 bottle of cooking oil, and 1 box of baking powder are this, and this respectively. Means that 109 is the mass of 1 packet of sugar, and 148 is 1 bottle of cooking oil. Okay, and 84 goes with the baking powder. Okay, write down a calculation you could do mentally. We have to do mentally. Okay, to estimate the total masses, we have to do estimation also. Total masses of 3 packets of sugar, 2 bottles of cooking oil, and 5 boxes of baking powder. So what we have to do? Let's do it. We have to basically find the calculation that we can do mentally, and we have to estimate the total mass of 3 packets of sugar. See, 3 packets of sugar. 1 packet of sugar has 109 gram. So you have to estimate 109 to the nearest tens, and 109 can be 100 or 110. Okay, so this will be 110 because 9 is bigger than 5. 110. Okay, plus what you have to do, the next is 2 bottles of cooking oil. So 2 bottles of cooking oil. 1 bottle of cooking oil has 148 gram mass, and 148, if you round off 148 to the nearest tens, you will get 150. So 2 bottles will have to multiply 150. Plus the third is 5 boxes of baking powder. 1 box of baking powder has mass 84 gram. So 5 boxes of baking powder can be estimated as 84, can be estimated as 80. So 5 multiply 80. Alright, so this is the calculation that we can do mentally. Alright, and you can also write down the final answer for this. The final answer for this will be 1030, and the unit will be grams. Alright, so this is the calculation that you can do mentally, and these multiplications you have to do mentally. These are easy multiplications, and you should know how to multiply these bigger or smaller numbers. Next is question number 6. Question 6 is this: a battery operated device needs to function for 28.2 hours. A battery operated device can function 28.2 hours. Okay, like it should function 28.2 hours. It functions for an average of 4.03 hours on one battery. 4.03 hours on one battery. Write down a calculation you could do mentally to estimate the number of batteries required. We have to find how many batteries we need to function this device 28 hours, 28.2 hours. So first of all, we need to round off the numbers which are given to us. 4.03 can be rounded off to 4, and 28.2 can be rounded off to the nearest 28. So what will happen? A device should function 28 hours, but the average time of its function is 4 hours. So if it functions 4 hours on one battery, 4 hours on one battery, and so it will work 8 hours on 2 batteries. Okay, and then it will work 12 hours on 3 batteries. It will work 16 hours on 4 batteries. It will work 20 hours on 5 batteries, and it will work 24 hours on 6 batteries, and it will work 28 hours on 7 batteries. This is the calculation that I did by adding 4 and 4 hours. Each time 4 hours I added, and also I added a battery. Okay, so it needs basically write down the calculation you can do mentally to estimate the number of batteries. It basically needs 7 batteries to function 28 hours. Okay, the other way you can do this is 28 divided by 4. Alright, so when they are asking that write down a calculation, when you have to write down a calculation, then calculation means that this answer is also sufficient. 28 over 4. You do not need to write down the final answer after cancellation. This answer is sufficient, 28 over 4. But if you further write the final answer, then you will not lose your marks. Alright, so let's write down the answer. You can simply write down 28 over 4. So on this side, this means the number of batteries. You can write number of batteries. You should write more. You should give more to the examiner so that none of your numbers should cut. You should get full marks. How you can get full marks? By giving more and more. So the other thing that you can write here, number of batteries is equal to 7. Alright, I hope you got it. Let's move to the next question. Question 7. I hope this font is quite easy for you to see and understand. Store A sells a 500 GB hard disk, 500 GB gigabyte hard disk for $85.05 with a 20% discount. Oh. While Store B sells the same hard disk for $76.05 with a 10% discount. Write down a calculation you can do mentally to help you decide which store to buy the hard disk from. You have to decide which store is the best for you. That store will be better for you, which is giving you more discount, or from where you are getting the hard disk on the less money. That will be better for you. So you have to check, you have to estimate that which store is offering you the least amount, which store is offering you on less money. Okay, so remember one thing here. Store A sells 500 GB hard disk for $85.05 with 20% discount. It means that Store A is giving you 20% discount. It means that you are getting 20% discount. It means that what is the selling price? What price you are giving to the shopkeeper? That will be, it means that you are buying on 80%. You got my point? Store A is offering you 20% discount. It means that Store A is selling a device on 80%. Okay, 20% discount means you are getting device on 80%. So you are getting basically device on 80% of 85.05, and that can be rounded off as 85. Okay. And what about Store B? Store B is selling the hard disk in $76.05 with the 10% discount. 10% discount means that they are giving you hard disk on 90%. So 90 over 100 into multiplied by 76. So because 76.05 can be estimated as 76. So these are the two calculations which will help you to buy the hard disk from the better store. So let's do it. Store A. What is Store A offering to you? Store A is offering you the hard disk on 80%. So you can write here 80 over 100 multiply 85.05. That can be rounded off as 85. Okay, now what about Store B? Store B is giving you discount 10%. It means that they are selling on 90%. So 90 over 100 multiply 76, because 76.05 can be rounded off as 76. Okay, so now you can calculate, you can work on these two amounts to get your final answer. But see one thing, you can see here one thing. Write down a calculation, write down a calculation you have to write down a calculation you could do mentally to help. Okay, they are not asking you the final answer. So this is basically a paper 1 question. So in paper you only have to write down your calculation. You do not need to write down the full answer. Alright, you got it? You only have to write down the calculation, and the calculation is this. Okay, and the calculation for the next part, that is also 90 over 100 into 76. I hope you got my point. So this is enough. This answer is enough to write down. You do not need to calculate it further, or multiply or divide or anything else you have to do with this. Nothing else is required. But if you want to do, then I tell you how to do. I just explain you. Let's suppose you want to do this part. So multiply 85 with 80, or you can just multiply 85 with 80. You will get 60. Oh, sorry. You will get 6800. Okay, and what is over there? This is 100. This, and the answer is coming 68. Now let's do store B. Multiply 76 with 90. You are getting 6840 divided by 100. So 0 goes with this, 0 goes with this, and over here we write decimal. 68.4. Over here you are getting in 68, here you are getting in 68.4. So the store A is cheapest. Okay, store A is better because it is giving you more discount. Alright, you got it. So store A is better, and this is the further calculation. You can do also this calculation in your examination if you have time. Otherwise this calculation is enough. Okay, so let's move to the next part. Whatever we do from this pen, like this is all rough. Okay, this is all your rough working. You can make it neat if you have enough time in paper, or you want more marks, you can do this rough work in the paper also. Question number 8, similar to question 7. Without using a calculator, you do not have to use a calculator. Decide which of the option is better value of the money. Which option is better, option A or option B? Okay, so what is option A? Option A is 250 ml hand lotion. You are getting in $15.20, and option B is 250 ml plus 50 ml hand lotion. You are getting in $17.45. So let's do it. First we talk about option A. Okay, option A is offering you 250 ml in $15.20. You can write is equal to $15.20. All right, and what about option B? Option B is giving you 250 plus 50, 300 ml in 17.45 dollars. Can you write this as 250 plus 50, 250 plus 50 ml? Okay, or you can just write as 250 ml plus 50 ml. This will be easy for you. Okay, so see what is happening here. 250 ml you are getting in, sorry, 250 ml you are getting in $15.20, and 250 plus 50 you are getting in $17.45. It's been what is the difference in these two? 17.5 and 15.2. 17.45 and 15.20. 5, 2 and 2. $2.25. It's been that in extra $2.25 you are getting this 50 ml. You got it? You are getting extra 50 ml only in $2.25. So it means that you are getting 50 ml extra only in $2.25. So this shows that option B is better. This is one way to find this. Let me tell you the other way. The other way is this, that you can just see from here that what is the value of 1 ml. 1 ml from option A will be equal to $15.20 divided by 250. You can calculate this, and after calculating, after doing the calculation without calculator, okay, not with calculator, after dividing these two numbers you will get as $0.06. You will get $0.06. It means that 1 ml you are getting in $0.06 according to option A. So what about option B? For option B you see that 1 ml will be equal to 17.45 over 300. So after this calculation, after this division by cancellation and without calculator, you will get 0.05. So see, this is $0.06 and this is $0.05. So this is cheapest, $0.05. This is affordable. Okay, so this option is better. So in all cases option B is better. Alright, so you have to write down your answer here. Option B is better. This calculation or working for this part is basically not included in your question. Okay, this calculation will be extra. You only have to estimate, see the question, decide which of the option is better value of money without using a calculator. Without using a calculator, you can do this working in the rough, or you can do this working in the neat. It's up to you, but you do not have to use the calculator. So without using calculator, we are getting that the option B is better, and I have explained you that how you can do without calculator. Alright, so this was all about review exercise 3. We have tried to explain this in English language so that you can understand it easily, and the people from other countries who do not belong to Pakistan, they can also understand this D mathematics in the easy way. We always try to explain all these questions in the much easier method for you. So please subscribe our channel and share this video with your class fellows, with your teachers, so that everyone can understand mathematics in the easy ways. Plus, I would also like to say that if you people are interested, if you people are ever interested to study with us or to study from us, we can give you tutors. We can give you online tutors who will explain you in the better way for all kinds of books, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and any book that you want to study. We provide the best tutors to you, and sometimes in all over the world, in any country, wherever you belong from, we will provide you the best tutor for your children, for your brother, sister, and for everyone. Okay, so just contact with us. The number you can see on the bottom of this video or on the side of this video. You can text us on WhatsApp on this number if you want tuition from us. Alright, tuition will be on very low rates. Don't worry about the money. It will be on very low rates. Alright, but we provide you tutors for O levels, for A levels, for BS programs, for MS programs, for PhD programs, for your MPhil programs. For any program, you can contact us. Thank you very much for your time.